The space station Orion's gate was never silent. Machines hummed. Aliens talked in strange voices. Humans walked carefully, always watching, always learning. Ethan Cole moved through the docking corridor with a tool bag on his shoulder. He was a human engineer, hired because humans were good with broken things. He fixed doors, power lines, and systems that aliens did not fully understand. It was supposed to be a normal day. Then the station shook. Deep boom thundered through the metal walls. The floor jumped under Ethan's feet. Lights flickered. Sirens screamed. Explosion in Docking Bay 7. A loud alien voice shouted. People ran. Aliens of all shapes toward emergency exits. Some screamed. Some froze in fear. Security doors began to slide shut, sealing off damaged areas. Ethan turned to run too. That was when he saw her. Near the end of the corridor, a small alien girl lay on the floor. Her skin was pale blue, glowing faintly. One of her legs was trapped under fallen metal. Her eyes were wide, full of terror. She could not move. Another explosion rocked the station. Sharp metal shrapnel burst through the air like deadly rain. Ethan's heart slammed hard in his chest. He looked at the exits. They were closing fast. He looked at the girl. Everyone else kept running. For 1 second, Ethan hesitated. Then he swore under his breath and ran toward her. "Hey, it's okay," he shouted, though he was not sure she could understand him. The alien girl tried to crawl back, but her leg would not move. Tears ran down her face. The ceiling cracked. More shrapnel screamed through the corridor. Ethan reached her and grabbed the metal beam trapping her leg. It was heavy. Too heavy. Another blast shook the station. There was no time. Ethan pulled her close and turned his body sideways, placing himself between her and the explosion. The shrapnel hit. Pain exploded across his back, shoulders, and chest. Hot, sharp, burning. Metal ripped into his flesh. Ethan screamed, but he did not move. He wrapped his arms around the alien girl, shielding her head and body. More pieces struck him. One tore into his side. Another cut deep into his shoulder. His vision blurred. Still, he stayed over her. Finally, the shaking stopped. Smoke filled the corridor. The sirens faded into a distant echo. Ethan tried to breathe. It hurt. Everything hurt. He slowly rolled to his side. Blood soaked his uniform. Sharp metal pieces were stuck in his body. The alien girl stared at him in shock. She was alive. Ethan smiled weakly. "You're safe," he whispered. Then his strength left him. The corridor grew dark. Ethan dreamed. He dreamed of Earth, blue skies, wind, grass under his feet. He dreamed of standing alone, broken, yet still standing. A soft voice called out, but he could not understand the words. Far away, emergency teams finally reached Docking Bay 7. Alien medics froze when they saw the scene. The corridor was destroyed. Metal walls torn open. Shrapnel everywhere. And in the center a human, covered in blood, still breathing. The alien girl sat beside him, unharmed, holding his hand with shaking fingers. One medic scanned Ethan's body. Her eyes widened. "This is impossible," she whispered. Metal fragments were buried deep in his chest and back. His organs were damaged. His bones were cracked. No being should still be alive. Security soldiers rushed in. Weapons raised. An alien commander stepped forward, tall and armored. "What happened here?" he demanded. The girl looked up, her voice small but clear. "He protected me," she said. "He took the blast for me." The commander stared at the human. Slowly, his expression changed. "A human?" he said quietly. "They are not supposed to be this strong." Medics lifted Ethan onto a floating stretcher. As they moved him away, the commander gave an order. "Take him to the restricted medical sector," he said, "and seal it." The medic hesitated. "Commander, he should be dead." The commander's eyes remained fixed on Ethan. Yes, he replied. That is exactly why we must watch him. Ethan's fingers switched once, then he went still, unseen by all. Alarms began to light up on the medical scanners, against all logic. The human heart kept beating. Pain came back first. Slow, heavy. Everywhere. Ethan Cole tried to breathe and felt fire in his chest. His eyes snapped open. Bright white light burned his vision. Strange symbols floated in the air above him. The sound of machines pulsed like a living heartbeat. He was not on the station floor anymore. He was lying inside a clear glass chamber. Ethan tried to move. His body refused. Something cold wrapped around his arms and legs, holding him in place. Thin lights scanned his chest again and again. Panic rose in his throat. Easy. A calm voice said. Ethan turned his head slowly. Shapes stood beyond the glass. Aliens. Tall ones. Short ones. Thin and wide. Some wore long white coats. Others held weapons pointed directly at him. He was surrounded. Ethan swallowed hard. Where am I? He asked. The words came out weak. The aliens reacted instantly. Voices erupted in sharp, fast sounds. One stepped closer to the glass, its eyes wide with shock. He is conscious, the alien said. After that level of trauma. Another alien shook its head. That is impossible. He should not even have brain activity. Ethan's heart pounded harder. He tried to lift his hand again. Pain screamed through his body. He groaned. Don't move, a softer voice said. Ethan turned his eyes toward the sound. The alien girl stood there. Alive. Unhurt. Her pale blue skin glowed gently under the lights. Her eyes were still large, but now they were full of worry. You're safe, she said slowly, choosing her words. You saved me. Ethan felt relief wash through him. Good. That part mattered. That's good, he whispered. An alien medic stepped forward, tapping on a floating screen. Commander, the medic said. His injuries are extreme. Metal fragments remain inside vital areas. The tall, armored alien from before entered the room. The commander, his presence silenced everyone. He looked at Ethan like a scientist studies a dangerous animal. You are a human, the commander said. This should not be possible. Ethan forced a tired smile. Yeah, I hear that a lot. The room froze. The alien girl blinked. He jokes, she whispered. The commander narrowed his eyes. Scan him again, he ordered. Lights passed over Ethan's body. Numbers and symbols flashed red, then yellow, then green. The medic stiffened. Commander, his body is adapting. Explain. The damage is real, the medic said slowly, but his cells are compensating faster than predicted. Ethan listened, confused. What does that mean? He asked. The commander stepped closer. It means, he said, that your species survives what others cannot. Silence followed. Then another alien spoke. If humans can endure this, they are a threat. The word threat echoed in the room. Ethan's eyes hardened. I didn't do this to hurt anyone, he said. I did it to save her. He looked at the alien girl. She nodded quickly. He shielded me, she said. He did not hesitate. The commander studied her face. You know who you are? He asked. She lowered her eyes. Yes. Murmurs spread across the room. Ethan felt tension spike. What's going on? He asked. No one answered him. The commander finally spoke. This human cannot be released, he said. Not yet. Ethan frowned. I'm not a prisoner, he said quietly. The commander looked directly at him. On this station, he replied. You are something far more dangerous. Guards stepped closer. Weapons powered on. The alien girl moved between them and the chamber. No, she said. He is injured. He needs rest. The commander paused. For now, he said, he will be observed. The glass chamber began to lower. Ethan felt the restraints loosen slightly. Before the lights dimmed, the alien girl leaned close to the glass. "My name is Lyra," she whispered. "And you should not have survived." Ethan gave a weak laugh. "Story of my life." The chamber closed. Darkness returned. Outside, the commander turned to his officers. "Send a report to the council," he ordered. "Tell them a human survived a direct blast meant to kill royalty." One officer hesitated. "And if the council asks what this means?" The commander looked back at the chamber. "Then we tell them the truth," he said. "That humans are far more terrifying than we believed." Inside the chamber, unseen by all, Ethan's heart beat strong, stronger than before. Ethan woke up again. This time, the pain was still there, but something had changed. He could feel his fingers. He could feel his legs. Slowly he opened his eyes. The glass chamber was gone. He lay on a metal bed inside a quiet room. Soft blue light filled the air. Strange machines floated near the ceiling. Watching him, Ethan took a careful breath. It hurt, but not as much as it should have. He frowned. "That's not right," he whispered. A screen lit up beside him. Numbers flashed. Heart rate stable. Blood loss controlled. Organ damage recovering. Ethan turned his head. Lyra stood near the door. She looked relieved when she saw his eyes open. "You are awake," she said. "How long was I out?" Ethan asked. She hesitated. 2 cycles, she replied. "More than 30 standard hours." Ethan blinked. "And I'm alive?" Lyra nodded slowly. "Yes, the doctors do not understand why." Before Ethan could answer, the door slid open. Alien scientists entered the room. They carried scanners, lights, and data pads. Their faces showed fear, not calm. One of them raised a device and pointed it at Ethan's chest. "Remain still," the scientist said. Ethan sighed. "Do I have a choice?" No one laughed. The scanner hummed. The scientist's hands began to shake. "This is wrong," she whispered. "The metal is still inside him." Another scientist checked the screen. "His body is building tissue around the fragments," he said. "Like armor." "Armor." The words spread across the room. Lyra looked at Ethan with wide eyes. "You are healing," she said quietly. Ethan tried to sit up. Pain flared, but he did not scream. Instead, he clenched his jaw and pushed through it. The scientist stepped back instantly. "Stop him," he said firmly. "But I won't lie here like a dead thing." Silence filled the room. No alien moved. Finally, the door opened again. The commander entered. He stopped when he saw Ethan, standing, still wounded, still breathing, still refusing to fall. "You should not be able to do that," the commander said. Ethan met his eyes. "Humans don't stop just because they're told to." Ethan shrugged carefully. "Pain just means you're still alive." That answer unsettled them. The commander turned to Lyra. "Tell him the truth," he said. Lyra's hands trembled. "You saved me because you thought I was weak." Looked up, surprised. "I'm not just any citizen," she said. The room grew tense. "The explosion," she continued, "was meant to kill me." Ethan's eyes darkened. "So someone tried to murder you?" "Yes," Lyra said, "and they will try again." The commander crossed his arms. "This human now knows too much." Ethan laughed once, dry and tired. "You dragged me here, cut me open, and pointed guns at me," he said. "Seems a bit late for secrets." One scientist whispered to another, "If all humans are like this." "No," the commander said sharply. "That is the worst part." He looked back at Ethan. "Not all of them are," he said. "But enough." Lyra stepped closer to Ethan. "They fear you," she whispered. Ethan frowned. "I didn't come here to scare anyone." "That," Lyra said, "is why they are afraid." Alarms suddenly rang outside the room. Red lights flashed. A guard's voice echoed through the hall. "Security breach in the upper council wing." The commander looked at Ethan. For the first time, uncertainty crossed his face. "You can barely stand," he said. "And yet," Ethan straightened his shoulders. "Yet I'm still here," he said. Lyra looked between them. "If they reach me," she said, "many will die." The commander studied the human one last time. Then he gave an order that shocked everyone. "Release him," he said. The scientists froze. "Commander?" "For now," the commander continued. "If humans truly refuse to break, then we will see what this one does next." Ethan took a step forward. Pain followed, but so did strength. Somewhere deep inside him, something awakened. And the galaxy was about to learn humans do not survive by chance. They survive by choice. The corridor outside the medical sector was silent, too. Silent. Ethan walked slowly, every step sending pain through his body. Metal was still inside him. He could feel it, but he kept moving. Lyra stayed close to his side. Alien guards followed at a distance. They did not trust him. They feared him. "You should be resting," Lyra said softly. Ethan gave a small smile. "If I rest too much, I might not get up again." That answer made her uneasy. They reached a sealed chamber near the center of the station. The doors opened with a low hum. Inside, the room was wide and dark. A large symbol glowed on the floor. The commander stepped forward. "This is a restricted hall," he said. "Few are allowed here." Ethan looked around. "So why bring me?" The commander's voice was calm but heavy. "Because you are already involved." The doors closed behind them. Lyra took a slow breath. "There is something you must know," she said. Ethan nodded. "I'm listening." Lyra lifted her head. "I am not just a citizen," she said. "I am the last living heir of my people's ruling line." The words hung in the air. Ethan stared at her. "Royal," he said quietly. "Yes," Lyra replied. "And my death would have started a war." Ethan clenched his jaw. "So the explosion, easy to remove." The commander spoke again. "She was hidden on this station for protection." Ethan let out a slow breath. "And I walked right into it." "You changed everything," the commander said. Ethan frowned. "How?" The commander activated a floating screen. Images appeared. Security footage. The explosion. Ethan running toward the blast. Ethan shielding Lyra with his own body. The footage paused. "This recording has already spread," the commander said. Ethan felt a chill. "People saw that?" "They did," the commander replied. "And they are asking questions." Lyra looked down. "They are asking why a human did what trained guards would not." Ethan shook his head. "I didn't think. I just moved." "That," the commander said, "is the problem." Suddenly, alarms echoed faintly through the walls. Not emergency alarms. Warning alarms. A guard rushed in. "Commander," he said. Multiple signals detected. Armed units moving through service tunnels. Lyra stiffened. "They found me," she whispered. The commander's eyes darkened. "They are faster than expected." Ethan looked at Lyra. "Are they after you or me?" The commander answered, "Both." Ethan laughed once, bitter. "Figures." The guard continued, "Council members are divided. Some demand the human be handed over." Lyra's head snapped up. "No. They fear his influence," the guard said. "They believe humans inspire rebellion." He asked. The commander was silent for a moment. Then he spoke. "We are voting on your fate." Ethan raised an eyebrow. "My fate?" "Yes," the commander said. "Some wish to study you. Others wish to eliminate you." Lyra stepped in front of Ethan. "I will not allow that," she said. The commander looked at her carefully. "You are still a child," he said. "This is politics." Ethan placed a hand gently on Lyra's shoulder. "Hey," he said, "if they want me gone, I'll face it." Ethan shrugged. "Didn't finish the job, did I?" That made the guards shift nervously. A loud voice echoed through the hall. "Council vote. Commencing." Lights changed color. A deep hum filled the room. Lyra's breathing quickened. "This is my fault," she whispered. Ethan shook his head. "No," he said firmly. Him closely. "You speak without fear," he said. Ethan met his gaze. "Fear doesn't stop pain," he replied. "But choice does." Suddenly, a distant explosion shook the station, closer than before. The guard shouted. They breached the inner ring. Weapons powered on. Chaos erupted. The commander turned sharply to Ethan. "You are wounded," he said. "But if you stay here, you will die." Ethan clenched his fists. "And if I leave?" The commander hesitated. "Then you become the galaxy's problem." Ethan smiled grimly. "I've been worse. I don't plan on losing you now." As smoke began to seep into the hall, already begun. The station shook again, not from an accident, from war. Red lights flooded the corridor as security systems failed one by one. Distant gunfire echoed through the metal halls. Ethan stood still for a moment, listening. His body screamed at him to stop. Every wound burned, but his mind was clear. "They're not running," he said quietly. "They're hunting." Lyra looked at him, fear shining in her eyes. "They will kill everyone to reach me." He asked. The commander hesitated. "Service tunnels," he said. "Hold paths, narrow, hidden." Ethan nodded. "Good." The commander frowned. "Good?" Before anyone could stop him, Ethan moved. He grabbed a fallen security vest from a nearby guard, strapped it over his chest. Pain hit hard. He gritted his teeth and kept going. "What are you doing?" Lyra asked. Ethan picked up a short plasma tool from the floor. "Buying time." The commander stepped forward. "You are injured. You will die." Ethan met his eyes. "Maybe," he said, "but not today." And not quietly. Another explosion thundered closer. A guard shouted, "They're breaking through the next gate." Lyra shook her head. "No, I won't leave you." Ethan knelt slightly so he could look at her eye level. "Listen to me," he said softly. "I jumped in front of an explosion for you." She nodded. "So trust me now." Her hands trembled. Slowly, she nodded back. The commander hesitated only a second, then gave orders. "Move her." Alone with smoke. Alone with footsteps coming fast. He took a deep breath. "Okay," he whispered. But momentum carried him forward. He slammed into the alien, driving them into the wall. The plasma tool fired at close range. The attacker fell. Another enemy appeared. Then another. Ethan moved without thinking. Duck. Strike. Push fire. His body should have failed. It didn't. Shots burned his side. A blade cut his arm. He stayed standing. One attacker shouted in panic, "He should be dead." Ethan grabbed the alien and threw him aside. "Yeah," Ethan growled. "Get in line." More enemies filled the tunnel. Too many. Ethan backed up slowly, breathing hard. Blood soaked his clothes. His vision blurred. Then the tunnel shook. Security doors slammed down behind the attackers. They were trapped. The attackers froze. Ethan stood in front of them, chest rising and falling, wounded, bleeding, still standing. "You wanted the girl," Ethan said. "You go through me." None of them moved. They had never seen this before. A being that refused to fall. A being that fought after it should have died. Behind them, alarms wailed. Station defenses reactivated. The attackers turned to run. Ethan collapsed to one knee, but he smiled. Moments later, guards rushed in and secured the area. The commander arrived, staring at the fallen enemies. Then at Ethan. "You held them alone," he said. Ethan looked up, exhausted. "Guess I did." Lyra ran to him, eyes wide. "You're bleeding." Ethan chuckled weakly. "Still alive." The commander knelt beside him. "This will change everything," he said. "They will fear humans now." Ethan shook his head slowly. "They shouldn't fear us," he said. They should understand us. Lyra held his hand tightly. You fought for someone not your own, she said. Ethan closed his eyes. That's what humans do. As medics rushed toward him, one truth echoed through the station. The explosion did not create a hero. It revealed one, and the galaxy was no longer prepared for what humans could endure. And fight through. Ethan was drifting in and out of darkness. Voices came and went. Lights passed over his face. Then the station shook again. Hard. Ethan's eyes opened. The ceiling above him was cracked. Emergency lights blinked red and blue. He was on a moving stretcher. Medics rushed beside him, speaking fast. The outer ring is failing, one shouted. Enemy ships detected. Enemy ships. Ethan tried to sit up. Pain hit him like a wall. Easy, a medic said. You will tear open your wounds. Ethan forced himself upright anyway. Where's Lyra? He asked. The medic hesitated. She is being moved to a secure shuttle. Ethan's heart skipped. Being moved? Where? Before the medic could answer, the corridor ahead exploded. Fire rolled through the hall. The stretcher crashed to the side. Alarms screamed. Ethan hit the floor hard. His vision blurred, but he pushed himself up. He staggered forward, leaning against the wall. Lyra! He shouted. Smoke filled the air. Through it, he saw soldiers running the opposite way. Fall back, one yelled. The council wing is lost. Lost. That meant Lyra was exposed. Ethan clenched his jaw. No, he whispered. Not again. He grabbed a rifle from the floor. It felt heavy, but familiar enough. Ethan followed the signs toward the shuttle bay. Every step hurt. Blood dripped onto the metal floor. But he kept going. Ahead, he heard shouting. Then he heard her voice. Stop, please. Ethan burst into the bay. Lyra stood near a small shuttle, surrounded by armed figures. Not station guards. Different armor. Different markings. The assassins. One of them turned and froze. It's the human, he said. The broken one, Ethan. Raise the rifle. Step away from her, he said. The leader laughed. You should be dead. Ethan smiled weakly. Yeah, he replied. People keep saying that. The first shot rang out. Ethan moved. Pain exploded in his side, but he fired back. The shuttle bay turned into chaos. Blaster fire lit the air. Ethan advanced slowly, using crates for cover. One assassin rushed him. Ethan met him head on. They crashed together. The alien was stronger. Faster. But Ethan was heavier and desperate. He drove his shoulder forward. Both fell. Ethan slammed the alien's head into the floor. Once. Twice. The alien went still. Ethan staggered to his feet. Lyra stared at him. You came back, she whispered. Ethan reached her and grabbed her hand. Wasn't done yet. The shuttle engines roared to life, but more enemies were coming. Too many. Ethan pushed Lyra toward the shuttle. Get in, he said. What about you? She asked. Ethan looked at the door behind them. At the shadows moving closer. I'll be right behind you. She hesitated. Then nodded. The shuttle door closed. Ethan turned just as the attackers entered, weapons raised. Ethan stood in front of the shuttle, bleeding, barely standing, but smiling. You want her, he said. You go through. They fired. Ethan felt the impact. Once. Twice. He fell to one knee. The shuttle engines screamed louder. A voice echoed over the bay speakers. Human. Move. It was the commander. Ethan laughed through blood. Timing, he muttered. He rolled aside. As station defenses activated, turrets opened fire. The attackers scattered. Ethan crawled toward the shuttle. Hands grabbed him and pulled him inside. The door sealed. The shuttle launched. Stars filled the view. Lyra rushed to his side. You're dying, she said, panic in her voice. Ethan shook his head weakly. Not yet. Behind them, the station grew smaller. In front of them, human ships appeared. Massive, armed, Silent. Lyra stared. Humans came? Ethan smiled. Yeah, he whispered. They don't like losing their people. Human command channels lit up. Reports flew across space. A human engineer survived an assassination. Fought off aliens. Protected a royal child. Across the galaxy, leaders watched the footage and felt something new. Not anger. Not fear. Lyra held Ethan's hand tightly. You changed everything, she said. Ethan closed his eyes. No, he replied softly. I just did what humans do. As the shuttle docked with the human fleet, one truth became clear. The galaxy had seen courage before, but never like this. Never human. The human medical bay was silent. Machines beeped softly. White lights glowed above clean metal walls. Ethan Cole lay on the bed, barely moving. Doctors worked fast. Human doctors, calm, focused. He lost a lot of blood, one said. But his body is stabilizing. Lyra stood near the bed. She had never seen humans before, not like this. They did not panic. They did not shout. They simply worked like they expected him to survive, and he did. Not shout. They simply worked like they expected him to survive. And he did. Ethan opened his eyes. The pain was still there, but it no longer ruled him. You're awake, a doctor said. Welcome back, Ethan blinked. Did we make it? Lyra stepped forward. Yes, she said softly. We are safe. Ethan exhaled slowly. Good. Outside the medical bay, the human fleet waited. Silent, watching. News of the station spread across the galaxy. A human engineer. A royal alien child. An assassination stopped not by power, but by choice. Alien councils gathered. Screens showed the footage again and again. Ethan running toward the explosion. Ethan shielding Lyra. Ethan fighting while broken. One alien leader spoke. This human survived what should have killed him. Another replied. He fought when retreat was logical. A third said quietly. He protected someone not his own. The room fell silent. This is not aggression, one elder said. This is something worse. Worse? Another asked. The elder nodded. Loyalty. Back on the human ship, Lyra stood at the viewing window. Stars stretched endlessly before her. You could have left me, she said. Ethan sat up slowly beside her. But you didn't, she continued. Why? Ethan thought for a moment. Because someone had to stay, he said. And because leaving would have been easy. Lyra looked at him. Your kind chooses pain, she said. Ethan smiled faintly. No, he replied. We choose people. The human commander entered the room. Ethan, he said. The alien council wants to speak with you. Ethan sighed. Of course they do. The call connected. Alien leaders filled the screen. Their faces were serious. One spoke. Human Ethan Cole, the leader said. You have altered the balance of trust in this galaxy. Ethan raised an eyebrow. I was just fixing the station. Murmurs spread. The leader continued. You risked your life for one of our own. Ethan nodded. She needed help. Another leader leaned forward. If more humans are like you, the galaxy must change how it sees your species. Ethan's voice was calm. Then maybe you should. Silence followed. Finally the leader spoke again. The child Lyra will remain under human protection, he said. By her request. Lyra stepped closer to Ethan. I choose them, she said clearly. The leaders exchanged looks. So be it. One said. The call ended. Later, as the ship moved through space, Ethan stood in the observation deck, his body still. Carried scars. Metal still rested inside him, but he stood. Lyra joined him. What happens now? She asked. Ethan looked at the stars. Now? He said. Now we keep going. She smiled. Across the galaxy, warnings were sent. New rules were written, not about human weapons, not about human ships, but about human resolve. The message was simple. Never judge humans by their size. Never corner them. And never threaten someone they choose to protect, because when humans choose to stand, they do not break. They endure. They fight. They protect. And sometimes, they change the fate of the galaxy. Ethan Coe was just one human, but after that day, no one ever said just human again.